Soul Garden.
Hello my friends, the Act 3 Video Orbit Report and now Audio Report on MP3 are both available at soulmart.me. You can dive deep into restoring justice in Libra and those deep boundaries we're cutting in Scorpio, plus information on the solar eclipse, all available at soulmart.me. Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Rayman Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your soul story together. Well, the sun now is in Libra. That is the sign of giving and receiving, ruled by Venus. That means we're all upgrading our justice and sense of fairness. We'll move from step 6 to step 12 this week. And this is basically at the high end potential for justice, which is why the world may be in a lot of negotiations right now. Now the moon will zip through Leo and Virgo, and then we have a new moon in Libra right away on Friday. Pretty powerful. And Saturday we're kind of having fun with that. The moon signs that are most affected by this in the light are Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. But the moon signs on the dark side of the moon are Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, moon signs that might be affected that way. Now, looking at the planets and how they affect our orbits, the chakras most affected, I think, of course, are the heart chakra. We got lots going on there. And with the moon in light cast day in Libra, that is a throat chakra light cast. So people might have issues with their voice, issues with their throat, that sort of thing. Of course, Black Lilith and Jupiter are kind of wreaking havoc in the solar plexus, and that will be the case for a full year. And the sun is basically throat chakra and third eye and above, due to the fact that we're moving the sun in Libra and Scorpio now. So, people have congestion issues or migraine issues. This is where it kind of manifests right now. Now, looking at the planets themselves, we've got this trine going on from Black Lilith in Cancer up to Saturn, which means as you grow up and draw lines with yourself, you're doing instant karma upgrade, which is really nice, and getting past the past, I think, forever. Also, this may hold up business on Earth. This is a grand square or grand cross, however you look at it. But what it is forcing justice on Earth. The sun is opposing Uranus and Aries, and that is a battle between ego, fairness, and justice. But also tied up are our emotions, with Black Lilith trying to end the past and Pluto trying to change the rules. So things are moving forward in a big way on Earth, but on the inside of our lives, we are changing, and I have those details, of course, in each of your scopes. And then lastly, we've got this Black Lilith Grand Trine. So underneath all this non-movement on Earth, officially with business or legal or whatever, is unofficial, pure movement on the inside. This is the emotional currents going on. So as you draw boundaries with yourself with Saturn and Scorpio, you are instantly kind of ascending up with Neptune retrograde, so you're learning and spiritually able to find higher peace with yourself or greater sense of self-compassion, and that allows you to cut away Black Lilith at the bottom, cut away the emotional past, cut away basically your emotional karma, all right? So for the details of you and the specifics of you, we've got to take the ascension elevator up, so I'll see you upstairs at 33,000 feet.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Namaste, Aries and Aries risings, the heroes of the zodiac. So good to see you again. Thank you for your patience when I took a small hiatus and reorganized some of my Uranus. There's so much going on right now. I hope you are doing well. Happy anti-birthday. The sun in Libra is your anti-birthday period, and you are working on your relationship to yourself and your shadow self also. In fact, this is going to be a big turning point year, both for Aries and Aries risings. Right now you might feel like shift, but that's because you're going to shift. You're going to shift big time. Many stories going on at once for my Ram friends. On the one hand, it is time to step into the next part of your career legacy. It absolutely is, and I think your heart knows that. It is time to manifest abundance, of course. That's always a given, but more importantly, it's time to manifest a security at home and an emotional security that can't be taken. It's also time to trust yourself, you know that. But this month, it's time to really come into balance with your relationship to yourself, what I call the marriage. That's the most important thing. And you might be really concerned about marriages, or you might be really concerned about strategic alliances with business partners, but it all still comes down to your marriage. The way you relate to yourself, the way you respond to yourself, turns out to be in the chamber of the matrix very, very important as to how everyone treats you. And if this first relationship to yourself is not well cared for, then everyone will treat you poorly as well. So we've got a grand square going on. I talked about that in the open, a grand cross, and this affects you very heavily because it's one of those oppositions is your ego on one side fighting your sense of fairness or your sense of what a relationship should be on the other. And in this horoscope, in this first week, you're going to work primarily on the marriage. So let's take a look. So we are working on balance, judgment, and harmony. This is the give and receive state of awareness, the giving and receiving of life, or Libra consciousness. And the first part of this deals with the ability to just stay balanced in your own life. And staying balanced in your own life, being fair to yourself, is really the essence of a marriage, how to relate to yourself. So this week we're working on balance and we're working on that fairness, the core principles of fairness for Aries and Aries risings. The sun is going to move from step 7 to step 12. So we're moving into chapter 2 and out of chapter 1 this week. Step 7 is an intuitive. We also have light cast day, so we'll be setting intentions, and light cast day is at step 11, which is a healing step, which is good. So we're light casting a lot of healing this week. Saturn is the other big part of the story I want to put out there before we dive into the details, and that is having to draw emotional boundaries with yourself, quite literally. The North Node is saying stay focused on the decision, the commitment, mostly a commitment to what you won't do anymore, where you won't go, you won't smoke, or you won't drink, or you won't let yourself stay late with her because you know what'll happen, or him. Mercury now moves in this space, so now thoughts go kind of underground, and this week you're going to find that some of the secrets come out. In some cases, you may want some secrets to come out with that Mercury, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if it's holding back some of your freedom. So this week, looking at the planets, and I've shifted the graphic for someone who said they were getting sick. It really starts in September 29th on Sunday, and this week ends on October 5th. And as you can see across the entire board here, we're doing a major transition on Sunday. It begins to be it's a Libra ruled day. It's a pure day on Sunday. And so on Sunday, you've hopefully gotten rid of any self-sabotaging behavior up until this point in your marriage, the way you relate to yourself, the way you approach yourself. So the way you approach yourself, I mean, I go into this in my readings and in my classes. It comes down to the way your mom or your dad talk to you, and you repeat that a lot of cases, or maybe you talk tough to yourself to make yourself strong. But whatever the case, it's time to innovate with Uranus and Aries. It's time to innovate and change the way you approach yourself entirely. What is your approach to yourself? Are you dominion? Are you a slave to yourself? Is the first approach with respect or disrespect? Whatever it is, it's time to clean the slate up until Sunday, September 29th. And on Sunday, you want to restore to balance. Plus, the moon will be in Leo on that Sunday. And so your inner child will be alive and kind of on the plate. On Monday, you want to listen to God, universe, and kind of figure out how exactly should I approach to myself. And what we're building up to are new marriage vows, the vows you make to yourself. I will never let you marry an alcoholic. I will never let you get involved in another job that doesn't pay you well. I will never, these are your own marriage vows to you in the mirror. I'm talking to myself here. So it's intuiting those vows on Monday with your inner child part of that, because if you're not going to have fun, if you're not going to have some serious joy along the way, then what's the point of the vows? And if you're not going to have fun while you're getting there, what's the point of the vows? So this is the theme on Sunday and Monday. On Tuesday, it's time to stop and decide. The moon moves into Virgo during the course of the day, and so it gets very serious and detail-oriented, and a lot of last month's energy either pays off or doesn't pay off with the moon moving into. So you might have had some hopes that things would change in your health or your work style. You might have had hopes last month that certain big issues would change, and you may be realizing, wow, those aren't going to change, which means I need to change my marriage vows to me. Now, some of you may be processing this whole thing as far as should you divorce someone or stay with someone or something like that. Honestly, that's all moot. That's chapter 2, chapter 3. You must first know what are your own commitments to yourself before you can ever make commitments to other people. So Tuesday is a serious day where the details kind of plague you. Then on Wednesday, it's hump day, and it's action day. So we move forward with whatever decision you made on Tuesday. The moon makes reality very real. It's in Virgo, and so the road is kind of bumpy. You're also this whole week with Jupiter at 18 degrees, moving forward with a overall plan to feel better in life, period. And Saturn is at 10 degrees in Scorpio this whole week, which means that you're having to really hold space and not slip into the old bad habits or the old tantrums or the old emotional issues. So being strong, having to push forward, and all the while making decisions about your marriage. And you know your marriage decisions will affect marriages, but it's still marriage. So Wednesday, taking action, feeling the details. Thursday, loving and trusting that your marriage decisions are good. This might be you saying, you know what, I got to be there for myself, which means I can't be there for these people. You might be certainly turning down connections to others or saying no to people right now because you're saying yes to yourself in your marriage. So on Thursday, you're kind of loving and trusting. You haven't done anything stupid. And you're feeling the bumps of the details of the road and the moments of the road because the moon is in Virgo. And then Friday is Light Cast Day, the most powerful day of the month to manifest intentions. And Light Cast Day will be at 11 degrees. So technically Light Cast Day for Aries and Aries risings this week will be, in my opinion, you walking down the aisle and making new marriage vows to yourself. The question is, who are you marrying? And I don't mean that as who are you. I just mean that who are you approaching who, at what part of you, at what level are you marrying yourself? Who are you in that approach? And I have this new feature of the horoscopes called the Serious Joy Toy, which we do at the very end, and we're going to talk about that image right there. But on Light Cast Day, you're healing. It's step 11. It's a Chiron rule day, so you're healing yourself. You're healing the relationship to yourself, and you're healing, putting behind you how you have mistreated yourself, which means you've mistreated yourself, allowing yourself to be in a work-slave relationship in your career, or you've allowed yourself to be in a work-slave relationship in your marriage, or you have been, there's some cases where some Aries are so selfish, have not been there for the other person. So it does go both ways, but not usually the people watching my scopes, just by the nature. So Friday is a healing day, and then Saturday is Jupiter rule day. So it's kind of like a honeymoon day on Saturday, where your heart should be kind of going out there and really feeling the potential of life and the potential of everything that can happen, and the potential with this new marriage vow in place. It's your honeymoon, and it's you and you, kid, and nothing's stopping you but you, right? That's kind of the feeling and energy I think that you'll have. One other point I want to point out for this week is the Uranus, which is innovating your character and ego and strength, directly opposes the Sun on Thursday. They directly oppose. So Thursday, the day before Light Cast Day, is a real turning point where I think the old ego is dead and a new ego is born. And that's, of course, due to the marriage, right? So it's interesting. So there's an old Aries, and we're talking about the one you were born with is probably dead. Doesn't mean we see the new wardrobe or we see the new hairdo or anything like that. But really, I think on Thursday, it is a profound turning point for you and Libras. For Libras, it's a turning point in their marriages. So interesting point there. Now, remember I used to give you a sneak peek at next week? Well, I've got that feature back. Let's take a quick look at that feature. Quick peek at next week. The real profound thing is after we do the Light Cast Day, Sunday, you're going to find that you have a quantum breakthrough. It's Love Fest Day on Tuesday the 8th. And then we make some real decisions based on what the universe has offered or not offered us there on Thursday. So really this week, the week I just predicted, is what sets up your opportunity to make choices next week. And that, of course, is all going to be part of next week's horoscope. So let's ground down to earth. I got a couple things to tell you, and then come meet me back here in Witecki Theater for what I call your Serious Joy Toy after this. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Witecki Theater, the serene environment I've created for meditations and products, including the Act 3 Orbit Reports, and that's what I'm talking about today. For just $11.11, I will guide you for over 30 minutes on Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio, giving you a nice forecast of what's to come. And believe it or not, on 11/11/2013, there'll be a lot of change. You have to watch or listen to find out. So please help us by downloading your copy at soulmart.me. And now to your Serious Joy Toy. And now a new feature in the Soul Horoscopes called the Serious Joy Toy. The Serious Joy Toy is kind of an idea where I'm going to give you a little toy, a little game to play for the whole week. And this game is designed to help you step into your potential each week. So I want to close the horoscopes with this Serious Joy toy. It's a toy for you to play with. It's an idea for you to toy with. And here's the Serious Joy toy for Aries and for Aries risings as well. That also counts. What if I was royal? So this whole week you're working on, a new relationship to yourself and a new marriage. And I'd like you to think all week long, whatever your definition of royal is, and leave the ego judgment at the door. Honestly, what if you were a royalty and that was just out of the box? How would you treat yourself? What would your vows be to yourself if you were royal? And yes, that means rich, or that means powerful, or whatever. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, doesn't matter. In your heart, what if you were royal? And how would that change your marriage? All right, that's all I have for the week. I love you. Namaste. And live, love, be. I'm convinced at this ripe age of 22 that so funny. Actually,